Today is December 12, 2025. It is 2:05 a.m. You see this video here that I have shown on my screen? When I get to Piers Morgan's tweet, the beginning of his topic starts in this video. There was some stuff I saw about Piers Morgan and his wife in this video, okay? But hopefully I don't have part 1 and part 2 because I have a long list to share with you. All right, it's a long list. Piers Morgan is somewhere down here, I don't know, but and I'll have another video for PYTE. All right, so let's get started. Let's go on X. This is on the list but further down. First tweet. Okay. Let me pause. This does not belong here. I forgot about that one. I just moved this video on PYTE. Alright, so this is the first tweet. That's JTB who went to California and he did a nice little video. And I post some screenshot on my community board about it. And then when I went back to check some comments, and someone, I think it was Church Nelly, who put the link of his video in the description, and then I edit my caption and put it for whoever might want to check it, because I want to promote Sussex Squad channels or anything positive, so I update my caption to put the link. And thank you, Church Nelly, for providing me the link, because everything that I see on Twitter. All right, so this is the first tweet. Prince William went into clearance, was 40 pounds, now 1 pound. That's brutal. That's the life here. But the polls, I shared that on my community board as well. The reason I shared it, because the squad were talking about it. My goodness, 40 pounds for this? This looked like the thing they did, the wax image that they did of William. Like they said, where is the poll here? Can't shave a bubble, but his skeleton partner wants to start a competing business. There's the rolling eye. Also, why will anyone want that ugliness on their tree? Ew. They have jokes, these people. The hanging thing on his bald head is hilarious. Practicing for the big hat day. If they reduce it to 1 pound, it was never worth 40 pounds. That's right. For that much, you would think it was gold leaf coated with something. People saw the damn billing, the flesh, and that was it. Alright, so let's move on. There's more comment, but I have more important thing to share with you. Next tweet. Actually, it should have been further down. I have some tweets regarding William and Kate. Alright, oh my god, I think this should have been someplace else. Let me pause. Okay, for a minute I thought it was the squad were sharing some pictures of Harry and Meghan, so I thought that belonged on PYTE, but when I read some of those things, I realized it belongs here. Okay, Shudder. Prince Harry's secret plan is to establish a rival royal court in the UK. I'm telling you, these people are making up stuff. Harry doesn't have the power to do that. What does rival royal court mean? Is it because they're having the review? Is it Warwick? Who's doing the review again? I mentioned in some past videos that a person who was appointed by the Prime Minister, Home Office, I think Home Office, who's doing the review for Harry's security. And keep in mind, every time they're mentioning about the review, keep in mind Invictus is gonna be in the UK, I believe next year. Alright, or 2027. Could be next year. Well, they usually have 1 year leading up to the Invictus. And then the following year is the actual Invictus. So Harry, who enjoyed, this is what he enjoyed doing.
The people get to see me here in this Invictus role, you know, cracking on with the guys and mucking in and having a good time with them. And this is, you know, this is half my official role, but half my private role. This is what I enjoy doing. But the private life has to be private, and I hope people respect that.
So he wants to be able to be freely to do the things that he needs to do. So he needs police protection. Okay, what does rival court means? Has it been established a board, and now he is bringing one here? Where is the true royal court and what does it do? So many questions. Let me see, there's one comment under it. I don't know. They're just doing things to confuse people as if Harry has power or something. This ridiculous headline comes up every time Harry and Meghan receive positive coverage for what they're doing. The King bootlickers rear their heads. Why are WanK, William and Kate, so terrified of an irrelevant couple? Afraid they can't measure up? Harry and Meghan, LOL, this emoji. These folks are the paranoid ones. That's the laugh here. These people have nothing better to do than create delusion in their heads, it said. Good grief. More fantasies. This nutcase and his ilk will have Harry gathering invading force and friends to cross the channel and snatch the crown next. I guess that working with your charities and hanging out with friends and family constitute a royal court now. If Harry and Meghan were terrible at philanthropic work, then Rage Monster wouldn't care what they did. The problem is that they're genuinely awesome. Yeah. There was something here. These people have something about paranoid. Yeah. All the destruction that they're doing, not only because I'm talking just in general, Trumps, the MAGAs, whatever's going on around the world, whatever they're doing not only greedy, they want everything for themselves, and also paranoid. They overthink because they also, their mindset is so evil because they've been doing a lot of evil things, and when they see other people, they think other people's gonna do that to them. So yeah, these people are paranoid. Okay, next tweet. They turn off the comments. They never turn off comments where Harry is concerned. Okay, so that's from, she retweeted the Telegraph. Okay, so there's some information here. Let me read the caption here, and then read the comments here, and then go into it and see what people are saying. A private investigator has cast serious doubt on Baroness Lawrence's claim that the Daily Mail bugged her, according to a new investigation into Prince Harry's hacking claim against the newspaper's publishers. Wait a second. Baroness' case, is it that woman where her son was killed and then the papers did some crazy stuff, and then I know I covered it in the past. Okay, so that's one thing, right? So why they mention Harry? Harry's case is a different thing. Each one of them have to prove their own individually. Am I missing something here? A private investigator has cast serious doubt on Baroness Lawrence's claim that the Daily Mail bugged her, according to a new investigation into Prince Harry's hacking. Okay, Harry's case has to do with hacking claim against the newspaper publisher. Let me click on it, and okay, so there's that. I'm not gonna read the Telegraph. Okay, so there's no comment on the that's why they blocked the comments, they close it. Let me read some of the comments here. Telegraph is basically belong to Daily Mail now. This article is trying to influence the result of the lawsuit. Even still, the trial is not started until next year. Clearly, Daily Mail is very nervous with the output of the lawsuit. The publisher of the Daily Mail has agreed to buy the Daily Mail. Okay, so she's giving her receipt. On Sunday Telegraph for £500 million. The Daily Mail and General Trust said it had entered a period of discussion with Redbird IMI. Okay, so this is the receipt saying that Daily Mail own the Telegraph. So they're putting things out there to start stirring the pot, okay, for the lawsuit that's coming up. Daily Mail owner agrees to buy Telegraph. Okay, so there's more receipt here. What does Baroness have to do with hacking Harry? That's what I'm saying. She's one of the plaintiff. Her case has nothing to do with Harry. She has to prove her case. Harry has to prove his. These headlines are so misleading. Perfect. Okay, so let's leave that alone. Yeah, these people. Next tweet. Next tweet. Richard Platt Eden. Richard Platt, she put it in quote, Eden. What are these here? Richard Eden, her senior government figures have joined establishment plot to bring back Harry and Meghan. I'm told I exposed scheming against William and Kate last week. Now there's a twist event I didn't see. When was this? October. We're in December. So this is kind of old. So she's saying here, Richard Eden, in his headline, he's putting the word plot. Let's see if the other one has plot too. Richard Eden, Meghan's coming back. I've discovered jaw-dropping name and detail of the establishment. There's the plot again. To return her and Harry and undermine Kate and William. You won't believe that, gal. When was that? October of this year. I blew open establishment. There's the plot again. To return Harry and Meghan and undermine Kate. Okay, so there's the headline again. This wasn't November, last month. Richard Eden, the establishment plot to return. You could pause and read. There's the word plot in his headline. December. Oh, so that was yesterday. This one is a bit more recent. Let's see here. There's the word here. Eden has worked himself up into a pants-pissing frenzy about Harry and Meghan. What can the irrelevant ones possibly do to the heir and kitty? The reason why the royal family is where they are was because they all became terrified of Harry and Meghan's popularity. It was always that. Their greatest fear after losing their funding is being overshadowed. They bring it up all to themselves. I've said this so many times, especially when Meghan, all four of them, okay, where all four of them were on stage, Meghan literally told them what she was all about. She didn't mind being in the background, you know, to study and learn to maximize her potential.
Yes, I mean, I think that knowing that I've just been here for 3 months, right? And in that amount of time, but with that said, for me, it's very important to, once you hit the ground running, even if you're doing it quietly behind the scenes, which is what I've focused my energy on thus far, is meeting with the right people, meeting with the right organizations behind the scenes quietly, learning as much as I can so that I can maximize the opportunity we have here to really make an impact.
When I listen to this, it makes me believe that Harry probably told her there's that hierarchy. You cannot overshadow anybody or be in front of something. So Meghan was letting them know, I don't mind being in the background. So the other ones, I don't know what was going in their heads, but instead they took it completely 360. They took it as a threat. Instead, what they should have done is to work with Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan don't care who gets the clap, the cheers, and whatever. In my humble opinion, I feel like what they care about are the people they are helping. If William and Kate wanted to work with Harry and Meghan, all they had to do is either, if William brings something up, and Meghan and Harry will say whatever they feel, how the thing could be better, and then they'll do the footwork for them. Or if Harry and Meghan have a plan, bring it up to William, and William will say, okay, put my name on that project, and I'll try to help get funding because he has a more say on things like this than Harry and Meghan. But instead, they did what they did. We've seen almost every day, I have a video talking about their stupidity. So, and then he went beyond that to kick Harry and Meghan out. Okay, he kicked Harry out because of Meghan. It was unnecessary. It was unnecessary, all of the things that they did. And they thought that Harry will call back. But there's Harry and Meghan with their brilliant mind and their wit and their go-to kind of thing. They did what they are doing now. We've seen almost every day. I have something about them on PYTE. Not on this channel, but on PYTE. Alright, let's see here. The reason why the royal family, okay, I read that. Eden is not too bright in my humble opinion. Prince Harry has stated that he has zero plans of moving, okay, Eden is not too bright in my humble opinion. Prince Harry has stated that he has zero plans of moving back to the UK many times. And what can all Marines observing, barking and screaming and his dumb pieces to his dumb audience do about it? Even if it's true, poorly not. Okay, someone tell Marine to chill, the histrionics aren't flattering. Okay, let's move on. Okay, it's about Richard Eden again. Did I put it twice? I think I did. Let me pause and make sure I don't waste my time. No, it's a retweet, so I'm not gonna go into that. Someone retweeted it. Richard Eden has been screaming about establishment plot to bring Prince Harry and Meghan back to the UK since October, and no one is listening to the poor man. Who does Maureen have to speak to so that someone can finally take him seriously? I didn't think of it that way. Maureen has finally cracked up. That's the laugh. Yeah, he really wants people to care. I mean, the squad or something. Screenshot of all the headlines that he's been putting out there. I don't follow him, so I won't know. He really wants people to care. I think Richard was kicked out of the Palace WhatsApp group. He's been acting way too crazy lately. Poor Maureen. Months of Harry and Meghan comeback fan fiction, and still not a soul is tuning in. Whatever's here. Even if he is partially right, the fact that William and Kate can carry out the most basic soft power engagement on behalf of Brand UK and the Foreign Office remain unchanged. He's jumping up and down about it to keep his hate grief supplied. He should tread lightly. MI6. Has Maureen been sniffing those dog biscuits? He's being paid, and clearly one of the symptoms is extreme paranoia. Old girl thinks he's in a horror movie with Meghan coming after him with her gym. Needs to speak to his shrink. Eden's lost the plot and screaming into a void. Each headline is more hysterical than the previous one. They should have left Meghan alone, because the squad is making a mockery out of these people. This is why their plan is not working. They should have left Meghan alone. I'll never forget this. When I started looking into Harry and Meghan, and I stumbled, after the going on Twitter and things like that, and I start looking at videos about the Sussex squad. And Michelle and Tina, one of the things I remember them saying is to leave Meghan alone. They didn't listen. Alright, this is the next tweet. Royal expert explained that Meghan Markle does not want her father alive. Oh my God. Oh my God. These people are evil. Nothing that comes out of their brain is positive. It's full-blown savagery, evil. How does she know what Meghan feels? Or thinking or anything like that? What is wrong with these people? Will this be the end? Oh my God, she doesn't want him alive. I mean, I cannot speak for Meghan. I mean, I've said some stuff about the situation with the father, my humble opinion, and legal issues, the possibility of legal issues, and I made sure to let you guys know I'm not a lawyer, so just my opinion, just like I'm talking here. How do these people think and what Meghan thinks? I don't understand. And everything that comes out of their mouth is just pure evil. Okay, so this is 20 seconds. Let's listen.
So it's absolutely terrible.
One of the nice things that she should be doing is paying his medical bills.
Absolutely right, yes. But she won't do that. I can't believe that she'll do that, because she doesn't want him alive, really, does she? So,
oh my God. We don't even know what's going on in the background. We don't even know. What the hell is wrong? Oh my God. Let the Daily Mail pay his medical bills. They have been feeding off of him for almost a decade. They have made millions from him. My half-dead pot plant is more sentient and knowledgeable than this hate-for-hire hack, LOL, from the woman who could have stopped Seville. Alright, shame she didn't have as much to say when she knew what Jimmy Seville was. Alright, let's go to the next tweet. These people are crazy. We don't even know. This is the thing here. Meghan wanted to talk to her father privately. She didn't want whatever she's doing to help the father or anything to be for me or you or anybody else to know. It was supposed to be between her and her father. We don't even know. Well, we don't know since the time Meghan had the U.S. Embassy went to check on his father in the Philippines. So I think Daily Fail sort of stepped back a little bit. Okay, next tweet. Heavy security review, now this. Am I so jaded that they're doing this because of Epstein, or that Harry and Meghan have shown they can survive without them? I need therapy to get my head around the sudden shift about Harry and Meghan. I don't trust the motive. Okay, let's see here. Kate Middleton wants to find common ground with Meghan Markle to open door toward forgiveness as feud fizzle. I responded to something about that. Okay, maybe somewhere down the line on my list. So anyway, let's read some of this. I think Charles is ordering all this as a glided path for the Birmingham Invictus game so Harry can come with his family, maybe even the kids too. An interesting point he could be. Alright, the good news is I think if Harry's gonna bring his kids to the UK during the Invictus, don't even tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. And I think he still have the right to keep certain medias out, because he has done that in other, let me see, I think he did in past Invictus, because I remember Chris Chip, I think it was during the Netherlands and Invictus, Chris Chip was not allowed to come in. I think he has the right to do that, and he could allow certain medias to come in. I think BBC was one of them, and what did the UK did? Whoever Invictus had given licensing to broadcast the Invictus, they didn't even air it in the UK. Okay, people from the UK could correct me on that. Many people were saying they were looking forward to watch the Invictus, but they didn't air it. I think, from my understanding, okay, from what I've read, is that whoever had the license in the UK to broadcast it, they show it as if like highlights certain part of the games that happen. They didn't show the entire game or create a time slot to air the game itself where people will watch the process completely, but instead they show highlights. A lot of people were saying they didn't see it. So I think Harry could keep some of them out and just continue doing what he did from past Invictus, especially the Canada Invictus, where they license a couple media around the world to air it. Okay, let's see here. I think, okay, I read that. Interesting point. Oh, the other thing that I was saying is that Harry doesn't have to tell them if the kids are coming. And if they do, he could take a point from Michael Jackson when the kids were young. Put a mask on their faces when they go out in the UK. The good news is that supposed feud can fizzle easily enough without Meghan or her children setting foot on that island via telephone calls and letters, and without Meg bending the knee to either of them, and they can just as easily visit the US. Seems like she's the one bending the knee, not Meghan. If this story is true, it's mainly because Kate needs a leg up to make her seems relevant. I think the headline extremely doubtful. It's been reported by other outlets, so I'm definitely curious. It doesn't matter if other outlets said the similar headlines, because they all are connected. Okay, they all are connected. They probably give them, this is the talking point, and then they all copy from each other. Okay, I think this is an exclusive from Star Magazine. There's no way this tabloid is getting exclusive about the royal family. It's being picked up at other outlets, but they're always putting things out there. It was one-sided feud. Sure, that is true when you think about it. Harry and Meghan was not in any competition with these people. They're the one who felt like William used the monarchy as his leverage, thinking that he's better than Harry and Meghan. And yet Harry used his willpower, the go-to type of thing, to do his thing. And William and Kate's kind of mentality have been rejected. Only the derangers accepted their stupidity. All right, next week. I know, yeah? So out of touch, they are protecting big time. We deserve better as a society. All right, so that was a retweet. Only one thing is emojis. All right. Queen, I swear the behavior of the British media and the royal family needs to be studied. This is beyond compulsory obsession. They are helping to drown that monarchy. Sometimes you have to allow your enemy to dig their own grave. Yeah. That is true. Grave. These folks have dug an underground city. That's kind of funny. It's a matter of time. But what's really keeping them in position, which is what Trump has done, okay, is capture all forms of position of decision making. Trump tried to do it in the US, but what happened in the US, unfortunately, it's starting to crumble. All right, people outside of the US may not see what's going on, but the Trump type of mentality is starting to crumble because the people, including the MAGAs, okay, are starting to reject Trump. The reason why those MAGAs are rejecting Trump is because African American took a step back. The defense that African American have always put fighting, and after that last election when everything was so clear, it was clear as clear can get for people to vote the right way. But for some reason, their racism speak louder. So African Americans said, okay, this is what you want. We're not gonna fight for you. Okay, here's your people. You got the Senate, you got the House, you got MAGA Supreme Court, and you got the executive. So the MAGAs right now in the US 2025, MAGAs are controlling all position of power. This is why some of you outside of the US may say, oh my God, why Americans are letting this happen? Because all position of power, decision makers are controlled by MAGAs. So African Americans said, okay, this is what you want? Let me move back, stay out of the way, you want it, here it is. So now all the rules that Trump is putting out is because the African American move out of the way, it's affecting everybody, okay, including African American too. Don't get me wrong. It's affecting MAGAs, white, poor, blacks from different part of the world who came to the U.S. Everybody's being affected. So now they're feeling it. What's happening here? There have been some other small local elections. Most of you outside of the US will not know about those small little elections. So what's happening here? Places, let's say some place of Florida and different MAGAs control position, those small election, MAGAs are losing, okay? MAGAs are losing, and even though you don't see that many protests, there have been some protests, but African Americans don't put a foot out there so they don't get arrested to give Trump a reason to go full-blown crazy. He's already going crazy, but the full-blown, his phase to give him a reason to unleash his full power, African American is not giving him that. But there have been small little protests here and there. But what's happening here, those small elections are going against the Trump administration, okay? And I think there are some people in office who's not coming back anymore. Those MAGAs are not coming back. So there are some pushback. The people are pushing back, including the MAGAs are pushing back, okay? I'm just giving you a small little summary of what's happening within the US. But you could follow other YouTubers who's more like MIiddle Touch, for instance. Go, if you want to know what's really happening, go check them out. And what's that, Sabitha or Too Raw Too Real, they're a little bit more deeper into that. But anyway, why did I bring this here? The reason why the royal family is still in position is because all form of position of power are controlled by their people. Okay, so the people who could have easily said, you know, let's put certain things to be discussed to get rid of the monarchy is their people. All right, because I think there's some people, what do they call them? They're not elected, they were appointed. Like, is it Jason, like Simon Case, for instance, whatever position he just got, one of those people, I think there's like 72 of them. There's a good amount of them in Parliament, and they one of those groups that protecting the institution. So the institution has a lot of defense before, in terms of politics, to keep them where they are, to keep them where they at right now. So Trump tried to do the same thing, but the people are pushing back and starting to removing their his base, his supporters, despite everything that they done. All right, but I gotta say, Trump moved with his plan at light speed. Unlike when Democrats are in office, it takes forever, sometimes years, before something can be implemented. But Trump, well, then again, when you think about it, it's easy to break than to. It's easier to destroy than to actually build. So when you're destroying, when you don't care about anything, so you just let it crumble. Look what he did to the White House. Literally destroy portion of the White House. Oh my God. All right. That was my thought on this. All right. Trump was trying to copy the same setup, okay, as the UK. But the people are pushing back. Like I've said at the beginning, two things can happen after that 2024 election. You either gonna have what Trump is the Trump type of government, and that will set the precedent for other countries to follow, or you're gonna have where the people are pushing back, fighting back, and that will be another precedent, a model for the other countries who's trying to be like America, how the people could fight. As I'm seeing from other countries, it may not seem it, but it, well, like for instance, South Korea, how the president was trying to seize control, and with I think within a day or two, they did what needs to do to preserve democracy, and a swift, really quickly. But in the US, it seems like we're not doing it. But the reason Trump was able to get that far with his action is because he and his people use racism to divide the people. If you go back after the 2020 election, where I did a video where I said how I sort of highlight how Biden was able to win is because the minorities with different group, different background, pretty much vote in alignment with each other and got Biden elected. But in 2024, what Trump did, he went back to those same group, the minorities, and divide them. He even went to Madison Square Garden, humiliate a whole bunch of people, the Haitian, the Hispanics, you name it. And so many people, some minorities with different shade of skin tone, try to be closer to be accepted by the whites, and he used it against the minorities. And this is what pretty much got Trump in office. The same group that got Biden in office is the same group that got Trump in office, minus the African Americans. Trump used that and his leverage because he knows a lot of people wants to be closer to white, thinking that they will be accepted in the white communities, when in fact they don't give a shit about them. But he used it. I mean, when people think Trump is stupid, he's not stupid. He knows what he needs to do to get the job done. And it's very sad other minorities don't get it. All right? So I'm glad sometimes when I see certain things, I highlight them on my videos, because later on I go back to them to prove what I was thinking was right. I do not have a crystal ball in front of me. I'm just sharing my thought with you, what I see happening. Okay? So this is why America is not doing similar to what South Korea did, because South Korea are together. They have their neighbors, North Korea. They do not want to be like North Korea. So the moment they see a hint of what the country could be, they quickly put the nit in the butt, however you want to put it under control and preserve their democracy, because they see how the North Korea is still, operates. They don't want to be like it. But in comparison to that, with America, they never experience, majority of Americans have not experienced hardship, unlike African American. And this is why African American are now taking a step back, or not going protesting and do all sort of things, because they saw between the two candidates which would be better for the country. And 92% of African American women voted for Kamala Harris, and about 80% of African American men voted for Kamala Harris. And I think the remainder percenters are people from other countries, like the Somalis, I think, and people from Africa, who probably never understand the foundation of African American, and what allowed them to come to the U.S. So the remainder of the percentage of blacks that then make 100% of African American to vote for Kamala Harris are the others. But for some reason, many of them don't consider themselves black. I don't know why, but whatever they were taught in their homeland to disrespect African American, they brought it up with them here. Meanwhile, it's African American who pretty much create the path for them to be able to come to the US. So what Trump did, he went right in the middle and dispersed them, okay? Because so many of them then consider himself black, and went all over. He used the minority of them all. Haitians, who were the other one? What other group did he use? I know it wasn't just, is it Venezuelan? Okay, he disrespect them and all of that. Say Haitian eating dogs, cats, and all of that, and bring the rest of the minorities to distance themselves from the Venezuelan, from the Haitian, and all of that. Meanwhile, Trump was going after one of them. I mean, he used step by step, used the what you call the weakest link. Remove them from the group, and then the others probably thought they were special, but they pretty much, he considered them less than everybody else. Anyway, let's get back to the original recording. So much to be said about this, but let's leave that alone. Let me read what's there and then move on. If these pics are real, this is crazy. It is real. Had to double check with the crazy AI in this app. One can never be too sure, but damn, yeah. As if I need anything more to hate the monarchy. Other than charity work and being pure figurehead, why do they still exist? They done more evil than good. So there's that. The difference is that they're not pretending to be in touch. That is true. I remember that. Okay, there's that. They are not pretending to be in touch. Okay, he's cooking. That's supposed to be hot. Look at his hand without any glove. Crip labeled this as AI. It's real. Let's leave that alone. So this is about William and Kate as well. I might do a part 2 after this. Alright. Hardman. The Welleses will ensure that Judge Spears aren't full of resentment. There's that here. Look like the youngest is already letting them know to not F around with him. I'm talking about the one you don't see. Alright, I don't know his name. This is George, Charlotte. What's the other one? The youngest. That's who I'm making reference to. They left him. I can only wish them the best of luck in the future. They are kids. I hope they learn not to do what their parents are doing. May God protect the women who will marry William and Kate's kids, boys. That's all. All right. Spares will resent having to pay full rent on Crown Estate and not peppercorn rent. All right. Whatever's here. I think George already knows he's the lucky one. Charlotte will be bypassed for the little weird spare. Let's just hope. I just wish them well. Whatever blessing that Harry got, I hope the same for those kids. Until they are adult, they start showing their true self, then I'll criticize them. Right now, they are kids. That's the role Harry's kids were supposed to occupy. First of all, they need to ensure that the heir is not an a-hole who thinks he can control other people's life. Here's how we know the sad fate of these kids. William is so hateful and resentful that Harry got away. He's going to damage their experience. We don't know. Unfortunately, developmental milestones have been passed. Certain behaviors are cast already. That is true. I hate to agree with that. I think so too. Behaviors of the family and the press have been witnessed and lived forever on the internet. So they'll be read and watched without doubt. It's seriously time to abolish this human zoo. I never thought about the human zoo. That is true. Right, so I'm already past 30 minutes, so let's leave it as that. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. All right, so my next video, part 2, I'm gonna start with this. Lately, I've been trying to keep the videos short, at least 30 minutes, because when I'm editing, I add more. It's become more than 30 minutes. All right, so the next video, I'm gonna start with this. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.